Hello everyone. Well, I don't know if you all thought I had just forgotten about poor Selena here. I didn't. I still had every intention of working on her, but I had to wait for our weather to clear up. When I first told you of my plans, you know, it was still kind of the rainy season, and it was also very hot. I was hoping that, you know, we're getting near, well, actually now we are in fall, and I was hoping it would get a little cooler. Since I live in Florida, I don't have to worry about snow. But, you know, I don't want it to get freezing cold either. So, and besides the fact I had to do some research, you know, I don't deal with cars normally. I'm just somebody who's a little too poor to get a professional job done, and we weren't very good, my mom and I, we weren't very good about taking care of this car. You know, I know that's evil of us, but the thing is that we were used to our cars breaking down within 5 to 7 years and replacing them. We never expected to have this good little car that just keeps going and going and going. So now that she seems like she's going to be a good car, now we're interested in, you know, fixing up her little boo-boos. And you know, I know sometimes, you know, doing it yourself sometimes costs more money than, you know, going to the professional. But the one thing about doing it yourself is that sometimes, you know, a professional requires you to give up money all at once, whereas if you do it yourself, sometimes you can just split things up. But as a result, I was looking on YouTube and doing a little bit of research about how to do the things I wanted to do. I picked two videos of two people that I liked. Mainly I liked them because they used common tools that are around the house to do this. Now, the question is going to be, is it going to be durable? I have no idea. But I'm going to try their way first. I can live with it, you know, if it doesn't turn out to be the smart way and, you know, the paint peels or something. The only thing I hope I don't do is destroy the car, you know, stop her from running. But I'm hoping, but I mean, I'm kind of hoping that, you know, I would have to do something pretty extreme, I would think, for that. So, you know, I'm going to try it their way because they, you know, the two people I watched, because, you know, as I said, they used common tools that I have. You know, a lot of these videos, they assumed you were a car hobbyist and you had a lot of expensive equipment, and, you know, and I don't. So, anyway, first things first. What my first concern is, one of the people showed me, the video showed me how to destroy rust, or, you know, first I'm going to take care of the rust. Before I bond the, you know, fill up her holes, I'm going to take care of the rust. One of the guys showed how to kind of kill rust. And so that's what I'm doing today. So I hope there's not too much of a glare. I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see. I can barely see the picture in the camcorder. What is that? Okay. Now, what I'm kind of worried about is getting stuff falling through the holes while I'm doing the work. You know, as I said, I'm worried about stuff getting inside the engine and having it explode on me, or, you know, ruining the engine. So, actually, you know what? I forgot to get my protective goggles. I'll be with you in a moment. I don't know if I need a face mask, but I've never sanded a car before. But I just thought it'd be safe than sorry. Oh dear, you okay? Okay, yeah. Okay, excuse me folks, we're having technical difficulties. Okay. So, God, I can barely see. Okay, maybe it's just better to do this. Okay. So, the guy suggested, at least with metal cars, which I think Selena is, since, I mean, if she's rusting, I guess that means she's metal. Using a wire brush. I am a little worried that this might be too much, so I'm going to be very careful with her. But he suggests using this to you know, start removing the rust. So I'm going to do that. And heck, little parts there. I think I'm going to, can you see that? Yeah. So to tell you the truth, I kind of find this rather awkward. Yeah, I don't know if this is not doing just scratching her. I don't really see that it's removing the dust. Okay. I don't think so. Okay. Well, this is worth a try. So, I think what I'll do is try to use the 320 sandpaper. I'm rather amazed at how much this is getting off, or, you know, how much dust there is. So I don't know if this foil is actually not just getting in the way more than, I don't know if it's even. And so that's essentially what I'm doing right now. I don't know if actually the sanding is doing much good, but I'll try it. Sanding, I wound up opening some bigger holes, but I think they were already kind of forming. I mean, that the tops came off pretty easily. The foil, I don't know if I wound up protecting the inside of the engine that much, so I'm kind of hoping that you know, the engines are a little more insulated. And the way I figure probably particles fly in there anyway with the other holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off this dust and get ready for the next part of the treatment. Okay, so the next part, I've got 4 parts of water mixed with 1 part vinegar. And vinegar is supposed to kill rust. And I'm wearing protective gloves to keep my hands from smelling like a salad. And then I've got a regular Scotch-Brite pad. I'm going to use the green part, and I'm going to apply the vinegar to the top of the car. So, here we go. Hold up a minute. Okay. Excuse the interruption. Okay. So now we're going to apply the vinegar. And I'm taking special care. You see the part I was doing? Okay. Take special care over the rust spots, particularly. I'm doing the whole car because there may be little rust parts I'm not seeing. Whoops, darn. If this doesn't work, then I can do a video on how not to fix the holes in your car and the rust, right? Okay. So you let that sit a bit. I know I've scratched some of the car trying to fix the rust. I'm going to I'm also going to do the top of the car and the back of the car. You let this sit. Well, I'll check it in like 10 minutes or so what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. Alright, I waited a half hour. I have to admit, on the video it had looked a lot more impressive when the guy did the vinegar treatment, because his car, the top of his car looked like a petri dish. There's only a slight little yellowing. And I don't know, I don't really see any difference really with the rust. So, I don't know how helpful this was. It's supposed to turn black, but One thing that we did think though, well, there's one thing is that I noticed that as I was cleaning the car or putting the vinegar treatment on, I noticed that there's still a kind of a sparkly thing. I thought she was pretty much down to her base, you know, the very base of her. And I'm not sure if that's the case actually after all. But of course I'm kind of retarded about cars anyway. My mom though, we had always suspected this car may have been in a prior accident before my mom got her. Actually the car people hadn't wanted to sell her to my mom. There's been just little things. The hood seems to be a little bit up on one side, and her electrical stuff tends to be, she's a good little car, but her electrical stuff seems to go. And so we've been wondering, and I'm not sure if I didn't see what looked like another repair for her. So I'm beginning to think that she's had this rust problem before, and that actually, I'm not even sure if this is actually her original hood. So, but I'm not, you know, can't quote me on that. Anyway, what's happened though is my mom is getting a little nervous about it. And she says, you know, after I showed her the hood, and she says, maybe we'll be a little careful on it because you don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to her hood if there's already a problem with it, aside, you know. So, the paint job, I might do some slight alterations. I don't know how good it's going to wind up looking. But we'll see, you know, I'll try it. My main concern, you know, I just want to try to get her protected, you know. I mean, if it looks great, that's good. If it looks great, that's good, but mainly I just want to get her protected. And, but mainly, you know, if I fail at that I'm like, okay, lesson learned, and this will be a video on how not to do things. Or, you know, maybe I'll make it a humor thing, Jessica's totally retarded car repairs, you know, something like that. Anyway, we'll just have to see what happens, you know. So anyway, what's going to happen now? I've got a pail of clear water with the sponge, and I'm just going to go over the car and rinse off the, the vinegar stuff. And that's it for today for me, because I'm tired. Oh, well, then you dry it off, though. The car actually dries off very quickly on its own, so, and then that's it for today. So, yeah, excuse me, folks, while I... It's very hard to see. Okay, can you see the car? Okay. So... the guy said that if this treatment turns the rust black, and that's a good sign. And I don't know, is it my imagination, or is it that they do look a little blacker now? So maybe this did work. Anyway, I've wiped off the car and then dried it with just a regular paper towel. And, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with the next part, but the next part will be then patching these holes.